I guess we'll open. You gave a couple guys kind of day off. Kind of what's their status?
Yeah, everybody's good. Just Ace has a sore foot, so it's just trying to get him a day off in a week that we can give him a day off. Gatlin's a little sore. Everybody's a little sore. It's the middle of the year, so when I could get some of them out, I thought that was the case there.
Doug?
Coach, speaking of Ace, you gave him the night off, but it just shows the versatility because whoever played third base, I mean, they're on base 4 times, so
That was
they
good.
stepped up.
They stepped up for him. I didn't even notice that. So yeah, it was. We got it, and like I said, we needed some guys to play. You know, I just spoke to the team about. Like I know y'all think I got a set lineup and a set rotation and a set bullpen. I'm telling you, every day I'm talking about who can step up and be the extra hitter, the extra pitcher. As you go down a stretch of the season, you're always looking for other guys. That's why these games are important because guys can get out and play a little bit. And that's what Steven Spalita did tonight. I mean, he's.
How hard is it to come here thinking you're going to play the corner infield and wind up playing the corner outfield?
Yeah, probably not easy. So ask Eric Fry. That's the first game he's played at third, and we recruited him as a third baseman. So, but yeah, it's just you're just trying to get the best hitters you can in the lineup without sacrificing too much defense. And I think we've done that to a certain degree.
Sam?
And kind of on that with the pitching, you got a lot of guys in there, kind of on short leashes too. How much of an emphasis was it to just get some of those guys some confidence, maybe who had been struggling a little bit?
Well, in the last Tuesday we had a pretty tight game, and we had all those relievers left over from the South Carolina series. So these guys don't get to pitch. This is when these guys usually pitch. So it was good to get them out there. Obviously, Ryan, we wanted to keep him fresh for the weekend, but a couple of the freshmen, Duke and Cade, I thought they were great, and Jacob Pruitt. I mean, he's a guy that could really help us down the stretch. And I've been telling Park, and he knows it too. Like, we need more left-handed reliever. And so Dane Burns. Just being able to come out and get 1 or 2 guys at a time. We need that consistency from him. He's got real stuff. Just got to, we got to get the same Dane every time we run him out there. Sometimes I get, he doesn't throw enough strikes or the velo's not right or, I need him to get in that group of guys to where we can count on him every day.
Danny?
Then the new guys on the field, how much bigger was it to get that 6 spot right off the bat?
That's huge. I mean, in those games, those games when usually you're down 3-1 in the fourth. And then you're chasing them and you're frustrated. And I guess we played them in Jackson State and we were able to both score in both first innings. It lets the game be a little more relaxed.
Steve?
The pitching staff has one of the best batting average against in the Southeastern Conference. Just 3 hits tonight, 2 on Sunday. What have you seen from this staff that has made them so effective as kind of keeping guys off the base paths?
I just think it's tough. I mean, and Park's got a good plan. I think that's you got some guys with real stuff. Even tonight on a midweek game, you're throwing guys that, we haven't thrown guys like this on a midweek since probably I've been here. And, I think there's a stuff piece, and I think there's a plan, and I think Park puts together a great plan each week.
Dan?
You mentioned Steven Spalita. Wasn't sure he had that in him, but what did you see out of him, and how big a moment was that for him to pull one out of there?
He actually has that in him. That's I probably, if you look at us, and he's probably underplayed per the coach more than anybody. Like I just having a hard time because he's, you got a DH and Noah Sullivan. He's behind, and he doesn't get as many opportunities. But he's hit like that for us a lot in our practices and everything else. I'm a little challenged defensively where to play him, but he's a good offensive player, and I'm going to have to find a spot. I got to see what we can do versatility wise with him because he is that good a hitter, and he stands right on top of the plate. He's like Fry. They get a ton of HBPs. They shrink the strike zone, and he's got power. And he runs. So you don't realize like Fry. They'll get down the line 4-2 and put some pressure on the defense.
Steve?
You hadn't started really doing advanced scouting yet, but you got Florida coming in for a big series this weekend. What do you expect from the Gators?
They'll play hard, and they're very good and talented. I looked at a couple pitchers today, and everybody's mid-90s. They may not have the depth because they've had a couple injuries, but the guys they have are really, really good and a good position group. And they're like us. They're like A&M. A couple teams probably started slow in the league, but they're playing well now, and they're always well coached and just hard-nosed. So it'll be a big weekend here at the Duke.
Doug?
Coach, Southern came in, their RBI's over 280. You woke to do what you did tonight, but they also hit a couple of home runs, so they proved that if you don't put the ball where you want it, how hard was it to get the team to have that foot on the throat mentality coming into this?
we speak a lot on these games about it's not about who's in the other dugout. And right now with the situation we put ourselves in, it's not as hard because, you know, it's you know, we don't get hiccups anymore. You know, in our situation, we've had a couple. We're past them, and we're really striving to play great, be great, practice great, to build, because we know how you get a good team hot in April and May, and it's better than being hot in February or, you know, March. And so we know what we can do, and we know we still have a real plan in front of us. So I think they took that message pretty well. They don't go out. They're not going out there thinking, and it's not disrespect to Southern or UAB or Memphis or whoever we play in the midweeks. And we play Ole Miss next week, and so it's, you know, they'll probably get up for that one a little bit more. But for all these games, it's about us playing the game great. And I told them the day before the game, you only get so many days in this maroon and white. You better take advantage of it.
You got time for a couple more, Sam?
With Noah Sullivan not pitching tonight, do you think there's a chance you'll utilize him on the mound this weekend, or just kind of stick to?
We'll probably stick with what we've done, but we always have that availability. I just feel like the last couple of weeks it's kind of slowly dropped off a little bit. We felt like giving him a week off may help him. I don't know what we'll do next week, but Ryan was fresh, our bullpen was fresh. We wanted to get some guys out there. So.
Well, Stephen, when you first got here, I think you led this team in home runs in fall baseball, and tonight you get your first real one. Take us through the at-bat, what it felt like rounding those bases.
Yeah, pinch hit. I wanted to be aggressive. I knew that they were going to throw me something in the zone, so I was just making sure I was ready to get my swing off, and I ended up getting a hanging breaking ball in the zone that I was able to put as a good swing on. So it felt really good to be able to get the head out on that one.
Danny?
Gary, what did you feel like tonight, just to get on base, score that first run, start something big in that first inning?
Yeah, I mean, those are always huge. I mean, I guess my job as the leadoff guy is just to get on first and let the guys behind me do their jobs. So, yeah, that first inning was big, especially in these midweek games, getting out, getting ahead of them early. So yeah, that was huge. Then also getting the 0 spot in the first too is huge.
Ben?
Gary, we talked to you on Saturday about moving the outfield. You've played first and second, left field. Now you're playing third base tonight. So what's it been like moving all over the diamond, and what's the adjustment like for that?
It's been an adjustment for sure, you know, but I mean, third base is where I've played kind of all my life, so that's not too hard. But yeah, I mean, I'm just adjusting to kind of playing everywhere, but you know, left field and third are still getting comfortable for me.
Doug?
Gary, Coach mentioned that Ace had kind of a sore foot tonight, or whether he got a night off, and you step in and you and Nate, I think you're on base together 4 times. So what does that say about the versatility of this team, that you can come in and you don't miss a beat at that position?
Yeah, I mean, it speaks to our depth as a position group, and yeah, it's good to, you know, especially in some of these midweek games, give guys opportunities who are hurting to, you know, give them a little rest. So yeah, I mean, it speaks to our depth. And, you know, Chester's done a great job getting on base when he's got those opportunities. Yeah, I think it's a kind of a strength of our team.
Steve?
Stephen, I know everybody gets a chance to play in games like this, but as a guy that has to kind of watch and observe the games some on weekends, you know, what do you see? What are you watching on the weekends to maybe kind of prepare you mentally for when you get your opportunities?
A lot of it just watching guys like Gary's. You know, he's one of the best pinch hitters I've seen. He's really good at just coming off the bench and being locked into the game and being able to produce off the bench. And a lot of it is watching guys like that being able to be ready off the bench and be able to produce right away, and just paying attention to the things that they do and the things that the guys that are there every day, things that they do, and just try to do everything right, get ready for every game as if you're going to be starting.
Doug?
Question for either one of you. Asked Coach about Southern coming in with a high RPI, like over 280. That's a team that you want to beat soundly. You did beat soundly. But how do you balance it when you go out there where you don't want to let them in the game at all? You want to have the foot on the throat, but yet you still have to respect your opponent. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think Coach Lem is really good about, you know, telling us that, you know, we're not playing Southern, we're playing baseball, right? You know, we're just there to play our game, not to worry about the opponent, because you know, at the end of the day, like, they're still a good ball club, you know. So, and you know, it's always good in these games to get out in front early, get some, you know, like we did. The 6 spot in first was huge, so that's kind of our focus on these midweeks.
Steve?
You guys have won 2 SEC weekends in a row. You got a big one, home spring game this weekend, probably some big crowds. How eager are you to get back in front of your home fans and maybe take a 3rd straight series?
I mean, super eager. I mean, we have the best fans in college baseball, the best environment, and we're just super excited to get out there. Now we have, you know, momentum. We're playing good baseball to show that to our fans this weekend. I think the whole group's excited. The vibe around the clubhouse is really good right now. So we're excited to show it.
Sam?
Garrett, you know, just tonight being the 6th win in the last 7 games, what do you think has maybe changed since that Friday game against South Carolina that you guys lost and have now kind of gone on a run here?
I think it's just momentum. I mean, things are clicking. Guys are producing right times. You know, we're playing much better baseball, much cleaner baseball too. You know, from defense to pitching to hitting, getting big at bats. So I think all around we have that momentum, and we're just looking forward to continuing it.
Got time for a couple more. Doug?
Steve, did you know you were going to get to pitch hit tonight? And I mean, what were you thinking about before you got your opportunity?
I didn't know, like, for sure that I was going to get a pinch hit tonight, but going into these midweek games, whenever we're able to jump out on front like that and get a lead early in the game, I know there's always an opportunity for a lot of guys to get in. So, like I said before, you know, kind of just go into every single game expecting to play, get ready for the game like you're in the starting lineup, and that's just what I've been doing, and it seems to work for me.